Welcome. I want to take this time in this video to address something that I usually wouldn't. But since information came from a long standing religious member of my community, and actually it was the second one in less than a week, to pass along a message to me that the large religious community was spreading propaganda saying because I didn't visit my mother often, what kind of man could I really be? I would like to address this whole thing. And I got a trigger warning. If any one of you has a preset default in your spirit that says, it doesn't matter, your mother is your mother, you gotta love her, you gotta do this and do that, y'all should click off now. Yeah, you guys should click off now, and y'all should unsubscribe, and y'all should just become who you are really at the core. Because I want to say this: your family is not the family you're born with. They are the family that you choose, and I mean that to the core of my spirit. Of course, I need to air some of my dirty laundry. I took it upon myself to first sell drugs when I was 14 years young. I was upset with my mother. Every year, my mother would buy me 5 pair of pants, 5 t-shirts, 2 pairs of the same shoes, and a jacket in September at the beginning of school year. And I wouldn't get anything else the rest of the year. Sometimes I get one outfit for Christmas, which was my birthday, all in one. I love my mother. Don't get that twisted. But that 14 years old, I had my first summer job, and I spent the money enjoying myself, well, most of it. So school was about to begin in a few days, and I said, "Ma, what's up with some clothes?" She said, "Hey, you got your own money?" I said, "Ma, the government give you money for me. Like, you're not gonna do anything with it?" And she said, "Boy, you ain't getting it from me." So I took my last $35, I can't remember, and went and I visited a young man named Kevin Moon, and he blessed me. Right? So I sold drugs for 2 weeks and got enough to get me some outfits and stuff for the school year. So along with that and many other things, I held a unjust resentment towards my mother over the years of me being 14, 15 up to 18. So at this time, I got deep into selling drugs. By the time I was 19, by this time my mother had, stolen things from me, did a lot of things to me, until it culminated with she allowed some Charlie Heights, a man named Charlie Heights, to, break into my room and steal my stuff. So he stole about $3,200 in $1 bills and $5 bills. That's what they got. And I knew my mother had did it because I seen the stash of her money, and for some reason I used to just mark my money in a certain way. I had ADHD. I don't know. I did it, and I said, okay, my mom got my money. But then a neighbor of mine made a letter and stuck the letter under my windshield, because I have always been a kind guy. I'm strong. I got attitude, but I got kindness. I'm a kind person. And they let me know, yeah, your mama, robbed you, and she got this dude next door, and this is what it is. I'm like, damn, man. And it hurt me to the core. I ain't even speak on it to my mom till years later, and she confessed. You know, and then all this other stuff with the missionaries. This is where I get into the guys, the people that spreading the propaganda about me. See, these are people from the church, the Eastern Stars, the Masons, and I'm not saying it's all of them, but the groups that's in charge of spreading propaganda, of being missionaries in our community, gather information, snitching on people, doing these things, are contained in these groups. Now, it's not each and every one of them, but this is the missionary force that does these things. So these are the ones that have been spreading propaganda against me. And I just want to ask you to, lean back. Like, cut it out before I talk about a whole lot more. Like how I saved my mother from you. Do y'all guys spread that propaganda? That I figured out and I saved my mother. Y'all ain't gonna talk about that. Anywho, when these people first got into my life secretly, just influencing everyone around me, I'm talking to my mom on the phone one night. This may have been 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6, and I was beaten down. I was like, "Man, I don't know what I might check out of here." I was thinking about, ending things. And I'm like, "Ma, don't take it like that. It's just, I'm not so hurt and beat down. I don't like people messing with me. And that's what this is about." Excuse me. So I was talking with my mom and I was telling her about all the things that I had been through in life. And I told her I done seen a lot of, dead bodies and this and that. So she had recently told me, like 2 weeks before then, that some people, ladies from the church come over and keep me company and talk with me. And so I'm like, okay, so I knew that. So while I was talking with her in this conversation, I heard a type of mute. And then, I was hearing my mom speak out of turn. She really didn't like communicate like that. You know your mom. And I know my mom, she's like really easily readable. And I'm like, damn, somebody is there with her. And so I'm talking and she clicked back on. I could hear the mute go in effect. And she said, "Babe, you ain't never take nobody life, did you?" I'm like, oh, this lady is asking her for information on this level. I said, "Ma," I cold gave it to her because I knew what was going on. But I forgave my mother. I never ever hold grudges. Now I might not deal with you. I might not want to be around you, but I'm not gonna hold no grudge. It's too much life to examine with that type of weight on my spirit. So I never held a grudge. That's just like now. I don't hold a grudge against my mom, but I know that if she's willing to take and like work with other people against me, for say, to get information out of me, to do these things, or if they tell her to call my phone and start complaining to see how I'm going to interact with her complaining, like if she's going to do this, I'm not going to be operating with you. And I told my mother this one time, and she just kept accepting the money from the dark forces, and I cut her off for like 5 months. I said, "I'm not talking with you because it's supposed to be me and you. If it's me and you from my end, but it's you, all these other people telling you what to do, telling you what to say. Now listen, this ain't gonna roll like that." And I mean this, not only for my mom. Like, I'm gonna play the part. I'm gonna love, but I'm not gonna allow you to deceive me. So I want to say to the people, the missionaries, the people of the church, Eastern Stars, the fraternities. I forgot to mention you because the fraternities are the breeding ground for, you know, the higher levels amongst the black people to be, you know, I'll leave a wording out of it, but they play a part in orchestrating things. Masons. Like, I don't have beef. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be you guys' bride, like how women treat men nowadays. Like I marry him and he's supposed to just do whatever I say. Like I know it's a number of women, not all, a number of women that feel like that. That when they deal with a man, that he's supposed to serve and do this, do. And I know a lot of people in the church, the Eastern Stars and Masons, it seems like that y'all view me in such a way. And I want to say I'm no one's puppet. Like I'm no one's puppet. And I don't have any smoke for you. I don't have any animosity for you. I have love for you. But I'm not going to be operating with no secret hidden figures to try to, listen, man, I'm real. I'm straightforward. And there's no reason that you can't serve two masters. That's the one thing I want to say to you all. How are you going to serve two masters? See, that's where y'all get it twisted at. Y'all want to serve two masters and think you're still going to win. Man, that's far from righteous. I don't know. I'm going to do my best. I fall on the side of, you know, righteous character, righteous personality, righteous in your face and behind your back. So if I hear about more about, y'all can pick into me and I'm just going to expose the workings of so much more. I know y'all know I know, but I'm going to start doing it in person because I believe that people need to know the truth about these organizations. I am Leon Meredith, and I only come to bring the truth. And with this video, I'm speaking up for myself. I am not assaulting these groups, organizations,